Hey, what's up, guys? It's Aspiring Psychiatrist here. I hope you guys are all having a great day today. I'm going to make a quick video on why I feel like Discord kind of feels a little bit off to me. I've been using Discord since I was like 18. I'm 26 now, graduated college, and I'm just going to talk about some of my personal experience with it. But before we do that, I will get into some interesting factoids to kind of lay out how it's changed objectively. So, first things first, can Discord track your device, right? Yes. Big plot twist. Discord can actually track, and this is a little bit worrisome. It wasn't like this when I used it as a kid, I don't think, but Discord can track your device. It can track your key logs to some extent through permissions. Discord can also track your IP address as well, right? And as well, a lot of servers, like the servers that I'm going to talk about today, they actually, on top of all of that, require a phone number verification, right? So this can be pretty cancer. Or pretty unfortunate. I'm just gonna be honest. Was first in high school and college. Really loved Discord debates. Like it was kind of cringe because like I was some high school guy and like I didn't really know much about politics or anything like that, so or philosophy. So I just thought it was like kind of intimidating and weird at first. But then as I got older, I kept like being a part of the groups, listening to debates, you know, debating people like for the next few years as I went to community college. And I thought eventually that, you know, I would have some kind of positive impact on these communities, or I would be able to like lend a hand with, teaching like little lessons or something eventually. But most of these servers have turned into complete echo chambers. They've turned into complete echo chambers, and most of them of these kinds of servers, the political servers, are just like narcissistic cults of personality, where there's some like admin who has a team of mods. They have certain like political agendas and biases they push and philosophical lines of thinking. And if you don't align with that ideology, it's like you are kind of treated like a dissenter, right? Or like you've committed a thought crime. You can't ask certain questions or make certain very critical, well thought out arguments. And so, my honest opinion is don't even go on these servers. I don't think, there was one point where I remember this one time I was sitting there and there was a kid who was a theist and an atheist, and they were both debating like high school, college guys when I was like still in like early high school. And this dude like completely riffed this other guy. I can't remember which person it was, and this guy had like an existential breakdown over the debate. He was like crashing out and stuff, and that kind of like authentic kind of back and forth connection that does not happen online anymore, because if you get banned from one of these servers, your phone number is associated with these particular varieties. So it's like they want it to be a this is our little like in group, and you're not going to be a part of it. And I think what's the most existentially disturbing about that is that it leads to these very repetitive arguments and ideas in these groups, and they just don't ask questions as to why those arguments are good. This server politics is full of a bunch of like pagan atheists who are freaking weirdos. I actually heard of rumors that there were some PDF files in the politics server here and there. I don't know why that. It just continued to happen over the course of years. Conservative has like a bunch of, I guess, like, I don't know, man, like very beta kind of weirdo Discord moderator, this is my whole life kind of guys. And they want to be like the person who's getting the most attention in the room. And I get it if it's your server, but like once you hit a certain age, it's very inappropriate and strange to still be behaving that way. And a lot of these other ones are basically the same thing, but these are more so like the, I guess you could say, like socially progressive humanist, like like secular humanist kinds of lines of thinking, but they do the same things. It's all very similar, more or less. So, what I think is interesting is I don't think it's intrinsically anything to do with religion or politics, but the Christian religious servers are basically the same thing, right? Jesus Christianity, Christianity, blue politics, and these are actually more dead because all that usually happens is there's like interdenominational debates and fighting. And it's like, oh no, you're Catholic, you're Orthodox, oh you're an atheist, oh you're wrong because I think this and that. And it never turns into any kind of meaningful exposition on like any kind of history or theology. It's mostly just this like low tier like I am the chosen one, you are the character, the side character within my little narcissistic narrative that I'm reenacting for my family structure kind of thing. Like it's just not that interesting. I don't hate Christianity or Christians, but I don't really find these servers to be a valid place to learn theology anymore. There was a time when they were back in the day with Scripture Alone and Dr. Reverend Mike, but you know, that server Scripture Alone has kind of died, so it is what it is. So what kind of happens now that all of these servers are kind of like the young people doing? Well, they don't join those servers anymore. They join servers like Socialize, right? It has like 1 million members. They join servers like, you know, Chill Bar, like 421,000 members here, right? There's really no online space where there's an open forum for debate anymore. I feel like, with all that in mind, what's kind of the main thing that led to this occurring, right? Why all of a sudden, when I was a kid, there was no IP tracking, no phone number verification, no device tracking associated with accounts, no IP tracking as aggressively? What really was like the breaking point? Well, I'll say this, I was deeply involved in these servers. I found it more fun than just watching TV, and a lot of people have left. I think, honestly, we talked about it, and the breaking point was definitely the Charlie Kirk shooting. And it's kind of confusing at first, right? It's like, well, why are you saying that? Why would the Charlie Kirk shooting have anything to do with this? But the big ticket here is that the Charlie Kirk shooter actually had Discord logs that were leaked onto the internet. You guys can watch the channel Turkey Tom. He actually had like kind of a scandal recently, kind of interesting. But it's really sad because as soon as that happened, I feel like a lot of people could sense, and we were talking about this, like the era of Discord being an open place for debate and for healthy communities for grown people or adults kind of came to an end. It just, you know, it became very authoritarian in its structure with how it's connected to your phone number and personal information. And these open spaces for debate, the intellectual dark web has basically come to an end, right? Like the intellectual dark web, the news would call it that, is over. It's basically gone. And, you know, I'm not saying it's only because of the fact that the Discord logs of the Charlie Kirk shooter were leaked, but you know, once that happened, you could feel a shift, and it's sad. You know, you look at college campuses, and that's not really a place that's really great for debate either, to be honest. But this is kind of where I think things are culturally. Maybe in the next few years, things will change, things will develop, things will get better. But you know, I don't think you can sit there and force the world or demand the world to conform to your expectations. And I think that's the biggest thing that I'm learning with how things have changed since Charlie Kirk's death. So rest in peace to him.